Okay, everybody, you do not want to know how much time I have on this. It looks very freaking ugly. Sorry, took my gloves off to get my phone out. And I need one. Had the chisel wedged in from the other side so I could figure out where the last couple spots were. Right there where it's still holding was cherry just a minute ago. There it is. Unfortunately, there's a couple little holes in it. Yeah, I lean to look in and stare you off into space someplace with a jittery picture. Let's see. Yeah, there's a crack there. Oh, wait a minute. Let me line it up. Right there. Blew through there. Yeah. I know there's at least one other spot. Put me a little dent right there with the chisel. Yeah. I don't know. Really, it probably wasn't that many hours on it. I know it's too many. I've got a half hour on it this morning just getting that last one. Of course, that was 2/3 of it. I don't think I want to pick that chisel up yet. Part of the cutting I did was, within about an inch of it. And things were hot to begin with. So, yay, she's that far. And then the nightmare is the other one. And I think I'm just going to see if I can figure a little different way. Even if it takes a lot longer. Well, it takes longer to cut, but it gets the job done sooner and cleaner. I may just take the plasma and just work my way all the way around it. Cut in as far as I can with it. And maybe I can get through it and not be too bad. I don't know. If the lathe was big enough and the wheels were true enough, it'd be really easy. But there ain't no swing room on that lathe. If we got 14 inches and this is a 24-inch rim, so it's about 26 inches. Because everything's even enough. I mean, when they made them, they did it right. Everything is even. The weld is even. Everything's even. It'd take nothing with a good tool and cut it right out. I mean, still be time consuming because there's a lot there to cut out, but put her in, set her up, stand there and watch it for the most part. Give her a little turn once in a while or just set it up on auto feed. The old man was still around and we had a lathe big enough. I tell him, here, have fun. He was the machinist. I've never been. I can just make parts if I need to, so good reason to keep that lathe around. $2,000 investment about 35 years ago. And that was a machine that when Dad first started working for Tektronix, that was in one of the shops he worked in. And the guy that he bought it off of lived over on the other side of Portland, also worked at Tech, bought it when they replaced it, and he ran it until they replaced a newer machine that he wanted. And Dad bought it off of him. It sat right there for years. Nothing like having a 20-foot door and take 4 feet out of it and then try to get 18-foot equipment through it. So when we redid stuff, we cut half the bench out and shoved it in there. That hole actually, someday if we ever do build on the outside over here, we'll have a sliding door in it and the lathe will be on the other side. And the drill presses, I don't know. We planned on moving all that stuff over there, but I can't imagine packing half the crap over there that I need in here when we're drilling on it. That, and we've already got the overhead storage over the top of it, so you don't have the use of the very back of the shop anyway. There's 4 feet of overhead plus a ladder sticking out. That kind of wipes out about 6 feet worth of a 30-foot deep shop. That's why there's a tarp up there. You put trucks in here and you pull the doors against the side, drop the tarp and shove a tractor in or tube underneath the frame and blow it up. And that pretty well cuts the wind. So, okay, more later. I already rambled too long for this part. This morning, well, actually, I ended up cleaning the lot. Number one, decided that I could do the lot and do the 2-year-old's pen. Lot's clean. A little shiny because it's wet. There you can see it better. Had, not quite a half a dump truck load of rock left around in a couple of piles. And so when I got the lot done, I let number one have my machine and clean the 2-year-olds, and then she did this. And I stole Ben's Bobcat, and I put a bunch of rock in here, and right where the cow closest to the gate there, just turning to walk away from it. She's walking funny because there's 1.5 feet of really muddy reject in there. I can't pack it. All you can do is run the bucket backwards over to pack it. And yeah, she's not as good as working around things as I am. It's cleaner than it was. That's about what I can say. It was pretty chitty. And last time she cleaned this, she didn't. Usually try to move it away from the gates. Bad thing is it's so wet in here because it leaks when the wind blows, and the wind's been blowing when it rains. Yeah, I hate to guess how much rock's mixed in it, but it's all small rock, right? Nothing over 1.5 inches for the most part. Shouldn't be anything over it. Pain in the butt is, got to replace the rock later and get it packed in when this is empty. So, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 12-foot sections. And it's about half the width of this part. So about 12 foot wide, about 8 feet tall, and sorry, I'm just kind of dragging you down while I'm counting. And 72 feet long. That's just what's come out of here and out of the 2-year-old's pen. And right there at that post in the center of the screen, I suggested to her that she not stack it against the wall so tight, because that's over the top of the inside wall. That gets it down where the manure falls down in between the tin and the wall, and then we won't have any more tin. But here's what it is. I like to see it a wee bit cleaner than this, but they're not supposed to lay out here in calf, even though they do. That's a straw bale, so they don't want to eat it, but they will eat it. Bad thing is she moved that feeder around. I got it kind of back where it goes, and we tie them. Corner there's got a cable up to this pole, and on this one it goes. We used to have it tied to kitty corner the other way, but then we changed things. Cable goes from that far corner up there into the light and crosses all the way over down to a winch outside on that pole. This one, it's just, yeah, this one comes up and comes to this pole, I guess. I haven't got it hooked yet. The only one that's a straight shot's this end one. And it still has one of the original ropes on the one end. I shouldn't say original. That's probably the, 5th or 6th one. We used to just have rope and tie them, and that don't last very long. And then we added chain on the end, and they'll still wear out there. That one's been retied a couple times. But this is what it is. By morning, you won't know that it had this. Well, you'll still see what's around the poles and what's in front of the salt and mineral feeder. Kind of looks like she got a little carried away, and well, you curl that bucket up, it don't go that far. She lifted a little. She'll see the video and then get mad at me. Nothing new. But yeah, maybe next time we'll have all empty feeders and clean it right. So that's been the day. I thought about getting a little while I was running Ben's Bobcat, but I get along with it. I run machine with foot controls before. No problem with those, other than the lift valve is kind of iffy. You got to get it pretty much all the way, and then all of a sudden it's full flow. Makes it a little fun. As far as the tilt, I mean, that's just right there. You move your foot when you want to move it, and you're right there. So nobody said it was a new machine. Nobody said it was perfect. My biggest problem is when you look at the travel controls, they're obviously hinged back behind the panel because they come through the panel. I don't know how far back. I'm going to guess they're hinged. When you're sitting there, probably behind mid-thigh. And that means they have a lot of travel. I've got this stupid chit handle that comes down and supposed to keep you from falling out, and the only thing it does, it locks the loader controls, but it doesn't lock the travel, so you go to get out, it still wants to walk away. I run into that with my chest before I can find wide open. Wide open is literally at my fingertips, and I was damn near 6 foot at one point. A couple of bad discs in my back. I'm a little shorter than that. I'm like 5'10". Most of that's in my legs, and I got long arms. I got long enough arms to find the other end of a uterus in a freaking 6 or 8 year old Holstein cow, because I've done it. I did that when I was 14. I'm bigger now, longer arms, and literally fingertips. Going back's no problem. It's just going forward. There's a lot of moving. So if I'd bought one of those machines instead of my case, I wouldn't know any different. I'll stick to my case. I had a little issue scooping rock because they got the travel speed so high on the thing, you run out of push power. So, but I made it work. Just get a better run at it. I didn't beat his machine up. I ain't into beating stuff up. It beat me up more than anything. A little shorter wheelbase than my case and foam-filled tires. There's no give. Seats wore out, but I mean, there's still cushion there, so that was the best part of it. It really wasn't too bad to sit in with a roached out seat. But anyway, that's what it is for today. We still got to feed. I get done with this little video here and I can finish getting these feeders tied back up. Some will say, why do you tie them? We always have. We started out with round feeders outside in the lot at this end. And let's see. Yeah, the lot used to come to about where that tire scraper is. And first probably 10 years we fed round bales was 2 feeders over here in the corner. Got to where you couldn't get to one, so just give the one, and then I got to where you couldn't get to either one, and spent 2 days cleaning it out so we could even feed. And then we finally built the building. Well, the building's been here for got to be about 30 years. That pole there's broke. I broke that one. I think dry rot hit in it too. Green treated poles and manure don't mix. Most of them are broke or rotted off. The good thing is back here when we added the manure storage, we put 6x8s and they're all bolted together, so they're supporting it. Keeps things from moving. But anyway, the brain's wandering. Brain and the mouth aren't connected all the time. I didn't get any more done on that wheel since the first part of this video. Probably won't get to that till tomorrow. It's getting late enough now by the time we get done feeding. I may go in there for a little bit, I don't know. Only thing I gotta do is sit there and grind for a couple hours. I've been running a Bobcat for the last 3 hours. I don't think I want to play around. Oh yeah, and so Ben knows. I did take the Bobcat into the 2-year-old's pen over there in their lot, and I weaseled the stuff out. I didn't pack any manure down here and put in the barn. I just weaseled it out where she could get to it. There's a couple spots my machine doesn't get into. 6-foot bucket versus a 5-foot bucket makes a big difference at the end of that feeder. Anyway, oh yeah, round feeders. Yeah, you remember where I was at. I just forgot. We originally built this end section. We had gated off because we didn't pour all the concrete at once. We had enough for 2 feeders. Put them in. That was all filled with rock to level it up. This we filled with dirt and scrap metal. Don't run a metal detector over here. It'll never shut up. Whatever we had to throw in the hole. And it sat here for about 1.5 years. We ran a sprinkler on it. We did everything to get it settled in. About 10 years ago, 12 years ago maybe, I got a low spot right in here. We had everything packed good, but I think a couple of gophers and maybe some rats might have got underneath. So we ended up re-pouring along that wall, and I think, yeah, right to the middle of this gate. So re-poured all that. Had to re-pour the wall on the other side of those boards too. The only part we didn't re-pour was right against the lower wall here. And future plans are to add 12 more feet, which this has been planned for, only a few years. We got this 12 feet here, 12 more feet, and we can put 1 more feeder in. But now we're down on numbers, and Mom's talking about maybe keeping it down around 50 head, 50 cows. And if we do that, we don't need it. But it is kind of nice. It'd be nice to be able to at least have the extra manure storage. I mean, the way we're looking this year so far, the 2-year-olds inside, I need to clean it out. And that'll just about fill 1 section down here. And we got to clean the other end of the barn, the calf barn. And that's just about the same amount of manure over there. And usually this time of year, we've got some cold weather. It freezes up, we can go out on the pasture and spread some manure, but if it doesn't, there's no way we can get out there. I mean, we spread almost as much manure in the middle of the winter as we do at the end of summer when we get to cleaning barn. I shouldn't say that, because end of summer we clean barn, we got the whole other barn plus some manure storage. But that's a lot we're not getting moved, a lot we can't spread, which means it all goes into manure storage. And I've had this thing literally up to the beams. If you do it right and you got enough dry material like that, it'll bridge over. And actually my skid steer has been all over it out there. I just dig out against the wall here and put some fresh stuff in that wasn't wet and it wasn't sloppy, and it'll bridge nicely. And I've been out from this gate, I've actually been clear outside. We had the pile out to the steel fence post in the middle of the screen 1 year. So, and I did all that from here. So it can be done. Number one, will probably never do it. You gotta know the machine a little better and gotta know your limitations. And yes, out of a lot of years of doing that, I actually did get stuck in there once. I was just in the right spot. We could just get to it with the John Deere to pull it out. Well, anyway, I'm going to call her good for now. It's Leaping Lena there. She's happy to be able to get out and look outside and wish she was on pasture. And that one there, I think she's supposed to be the next one that's due. It don't matter. She always looks big. She looks 9 months pregnant when she's not even got a calf in her. Easy keeper. Okay, with that one, it's just been a chitty day. It's Friday still, darn it. Oh, yeah, just be another day of the week anyway. And I guess that's it. So hopefully you liked it. Jittery screen and all. Shake you up. Oh yeah, hey, yellow tag, center of the screen. She got booted out. That's the one that does have a calf. Her calf, she just walked up to her calf. Can't see her calf hiding in there behind the other two cows. There's too much manure over there. Can't keep it clean enough for a baby to be in there, so not for very long anyway. So she can come out here. It's not 1.5 feet deep out here anymore. Get her outside. What little bit of sunshine she gets. Better than none at all. I've mentioned before we've had issues with navel infections. Yeah, guess what? She popped up a temp the other day. And her navel did feel fine when she was at 102.5. And 102.5, yeah, some people don't worry about that at all. That puts them on the radar. Unless they've been running their butt off. A couple days later, she's a little over 103, and she hadn't been running around, and it wasn't that warm out, and her navel was, this number 2 said it was the size of her thumb and kind of hard. So bingo, she got some antibiotics, got some fever killing stuff. Right now she's acting like she's limping on her right hind. And that very well could be where the infection's gone. It'll do that. It gets in the navel and goes wherever. Usually it's in a joint in one of the legs. She may have just stepped on a rock too, I don't know. But that's 9 times out of 10 if we see a lame calf out here and it's anywhere from a week to a month and a half old. 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. So it's either hit them with antibiotics or wait a few days and dig a hole. I don't want to dig a hole. So for you that poo-poo antibiotics, we only use them if we have to. For those of you that know, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I gotta get going. Like, subscribe. They say it's free. Ring the bell. If the girls are around and they're not in a bad mood, it makes them laugh. And hey Ben, I know you're gonna watch this. Thanks for letting me use your loader. Just makes it a little cheaper for you to have it stored here for a while. Thanks for watching, everybody.